to 1969. During this tense period of U.S. history, David worked as a mechanic and crew chief for a B-52D bomber, which is a long-range, high-subsonic heavy bomber. Was it the Stratofortress? Yeah. It was a very cool aircraft, very futuristic for its time. World's fastest speeds at that time. Sorry, Air Force nerd here. Anyway, David's honored tour included service at Rapid City, South Dakota, Guam, and Okinawa, Japan. David, Nola Zimmerman nominated you for this honor, and the Quilt Club made the quilt. And we thank you very much for your service in protecting our pilots, our assets, and our great nation.
Don't you just love these Air Force nerds? So full disclosure on Jenny. She mentioned she was a linguist. She got her quilt 4 years ago. She wasn't just a linguist. Her job was to intercept traffic from Afghanistan. And once she found out that there were bad guys, she would triangulate where they were actually sitting, and she'd call in airstrikes, and she would mess up their day. Okay? She has 500 confirmed kills. Wow. Now, it may be a lot more, maybe less than that, but every year I increase. It's just embarrassing. What's that? Yes, she does stop talking about it. Our next veteran, let's see, Chief Warrant Officer Orrin Carter. Orrin joined the Army in 1962, where he entered the Army's aviation program. He became a command pilot, a test pilot, and was in charge of the maintenance command programs. He was also sent to Vietnam and served under 3 different major Army commands there in the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd Corps. From reading his form, it is unclear, well, it's clear that he inserted and evacuated soldiers, and the motto, "No man left behind."
You didn't leave anybody behind.
You didn't leave anybody behind. Exactly right. So that his mission was never to leave anybody. I believe that he was a highly decorated individual, but we don't know for sure because he was going to sell his house and his sister threw all his medals away. And uniform. We just need to get his 214 because all his medals are on that, and we can get that recovered for him. So, and then after, was it 23 years? 23 years he retired from active service. So with pleasure, it is an honor to present this quilt to Chief Warrant Officer Orrin Carter.
So I know earlier I said all military veterans are equal and we're all awesome, right? Except warrant officers are...
Okay, our next veteran, Randall Murray. This quilt was made by the Quilt Club. Randall joined the United States Army in 1975. After boot camp at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, he went to Fort Gordon for cryptographic training. He was then sent off to West Berlin. Now, at this time, Berlin was still, half of it was communist country. And at the time, he was married. So, most of his money was sent home to take care of his wife and baby. To give you a little bit of perspective, in 1975, $144.10 a month. And the minimum wage in America at that time was $2.10 an hour. So a military man that's an E1, which is what he was, basically made $11 a day. Now that's for if you've made an 8-hour day. But you know, in the military, you don't work 8-hour days. So when you send most of your money home, you know, he was a barracks rat. The only trip off base was to go to a wrestling tournament where he got to represent his unit in a wrestling tournament somewhere else in Germany. Eventually, his wife joined him, and he went into base housing. The only thing that separated American base housing from communist Germany was 2 strands of barbed wire. Imagine that. The one perk, I guess, for them was the swimming pool that they got to use was the swimming pool that they used in the 1936 Olympics. So, of course, the Berlin Wall was still there, and they were told, don't touch the wall. Well, you know what that meant. We're going to go touch it. The culture there, he thought, was very refreshing, because at night you would see the old people walking with the younger people. And he thought, you know, that's really neat that the young people still take care of the older people. And to this day, he wishes that he could take his family back to Germany, because that command is still there, and he'd love to go back and visit. So, and for me, it is really a pleasure to get to present this quilt to Randall Murray.
Before the ceremony, he asked if any of my family was here. My wife's kind of under the weather, and my German baby, my youngest daughter, surprised me by showing up. So I'm thankful that she was able to make it. I also want to take this time to thank all the veterans that are here, those who didn't make it back. And I hope that the future generations will honor us as we are honoring each other today. Thank you.
Donald Spencer. Donald Spencer joined the United States Navy in 1974. After basic training, he became a gunner's mate. He maintained and operated 3-inch